Make the ugliest drawing. So hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Pedro, and in today's video we will be talking a little bit about the fear of making ugly art and why it's keeping us stuck. So this is a piece that I made for the Hatsune Miku trend that was happening on TikTok, and I was really afraid of making her because I never draw full body. I never even draw busts. I normally just draw portraits. So making a kind of full body piece was really scary. Thought a lot about it. I ultimately, when it was almost done, I wasn't about to post it. I was like keeping to myself because I was like, it looks ugly, it looks wrong, the proportions are off, like nobody's body look like this. Like, what are you doing? You will just going to be ashamed of what you made. And now, looking back at it a lot of months later, I am really fond of it because it was my attempt of making a full body piece, and it looks okay. Like, it looks even nice. It has its problems. I was trying to fix some there. I was trying to correct the values because the hair values and the skin tone values were almost the same, therefore they weren't reading properly. Even in that case, looking back now, I am really proud of what I made, and I will experiment more. Even though they might not look nice, it will look like something, and I will be proud of it. I think it is a larger problem, especially for artists who make content online, because for us, in order to grow, we have to make always like that perfect piece, or that like super elaborate, super intricate, best design, best pose, best proportions, almost unreal, super rendered piece. And when we are not able to provide that, we normally feel that if our art piece doesn't receive the likes, the shares, and the follows, it wasn't good enough. But let me tell you something, your art will always be good enough because your art is an expression of things that you yourself value, not what everybody else values. So whenever you're drawing, you're pouring your whole experience, your whole like idea of beauty, idea of composition, and that is right. Of course, we need to improve, we need to learn the skills, but even in that case, we need to be proud of where we are. That is a point that I really decide to make, because I feel a lot and I am really struggling with that problem, the fear of not being good enough. But right now, a few years into the journey, I am drawing like professionally for almost like 3 to 4 years. So at this point, I feel like, yeah, okay, my skill might not be to the point where I want them to be, but they're good enough. And I really like some of the things that I am really able to create. And you need to be honest with yourself, like, you made that from scratch. Like, you looked at a blank page and you made something that is really special, that is like almost magical, and you need to be proud of yourself because you did that. Going on a tangent here, I the main problem with this piece was the values. As you can see now in black and white, the skin is really close to the hair. I would probably, like, I don't know, maybe like repaint it or remake it. I would probably do that, or will do that in the future, but right now I will just trying to correct some values and correct some painting mistakes, and it is fine. So going back to the main point, art is something that takes a lot of time. Art is something that it is not always about skill, it is more about emotion. If you feel like, but if your art piece conveys the emotion that you want it to convey, it is much more important than having an art piece that it looks aesthetically pleasing, or it looks pretty, or it's well rendered. I see that a lot of intermediate artists like myself get that sort of like resentment on social media over beginner artists because we see their posts like getting a lot of engagement, getting a lot of likes and a lot of follows, and I don't know if they make the piece ugly on purpose, and we feel like our work and our expertise and our art level is normally like ignored because online, or you have to be a art god, or you have to be a beginner artist like with no sense of anything to get some sort of like engagement online. And I feel like a lot of artists are starting to feel resentment toward especially the beginner artists because we look at them and we are like, that looks ugly, the proportions are off, like the coloring is off, and people are enjoying that, people are liking that. But my art piece that technically is more advanced than theirs, it is getting no likes, no views, no shares. And to that I will say that that might sound mean, that might sound rough, but not everybody is supposed to be a super famous, super engaged social media digital artists or social media artists. Some of us are for galleries, some of us are to make icons, some of us are artists for branding, some of us are artists for clothing, some of us are artists for like t-shirt designs, and us trying to fit ourselves in that single box is actually making us not appreciate the art that we make. At this point, I do love to do like portrait designs, but I noticed that I do gravitate more towards like character design and compositions that are kind of aimed into being like wall art or prints, and that is something that I really feel like it is like my calling in art. And not all of us have to be like trying to get 100 art commissions a month and using AI and scamming. And I'm going on a larger tangent here, but I feel like the main problem with people right now is always chasing the money and not understanding that some things are supposed to be special, are supposed to be unique, are supposed to be, you know, I don't know. Special is the best word to describe it. I do feel like I am rambling here, and I don't know if you guys like this more like podcasty type of videos, but let me know in the comments. But yeah, I feel like at some point, and sometimes I worked with commissions before. I was making around $60 to $100 a month, and right now my skills improved, but I have not been getting any commissions. And when I say any, it has been dry for 3 to 4 months. As most of the artists would, I started like giving up on pursuing art commissions. Not because I don't like doing them, not because I am not getting enough of them, but because of why am I always chasing something that came to me naturally? When I was just drawing for myself, a lot of commissions came. I was drawing almost every single day, and I was like producing designs that I liked. But when I started doing commissions consistently, I was drawing what people wanted, and I was having to deal with a lot of things like payments, interacting with clients, and drawing sometimes things that I'm not that comfortable. But I had to do that because I needed the money. And right now I do need the money, and I might go back to doing that, but with a more like clear conscious, because when all of that happened, after doing commissions for, I don't know, 6 months, I stopped drawing for a year because I was really exhausted, and I was like creatively, oh my god, I don't know how to say it, but I hope you get me, creatively drained, because it was awful. I wasn't miserable, and the money was good. In my current currency, it was like 2 minimum wages. so I was fine. But right now, I don't think that is something that I really want to do, because especially with college also drained me a lot. And yeah, but we're getting into the end. But the main point that I wanted to give you guys is, don't feel afraid of making the art piece. Don't feel afraid of drawing when you don't understand every single principle, every single technique, every single rule. And most importantly, you need to find a balance of making professional work and making work for yourself. Thank you for watching, and I hope you also like the drawing. You can see the piece right now in my Instagram. The link is in the bio. If you're looking for templates and ebooks about art made by a real artist, not AI, you can go to the first link in the comments, where you can see all my links in one place in my link in bio app. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye.